Now we can start.
Yes, sir. Respected Chairman, Dr. N. Vijayan, Zion and Alvin Group of Schools, Dr. P. Sairam, Principal, Sri Sairam Homeopathy Medical College and Research Center. Speaker for today, Dr. Jaren, Department of Organ of Medicine, Sri Sairam Homeopathy Medical College. Dean, Mrs. Jayanti Shivakumar, principals of other schools, teachers, students, parents, ladies and gentlemen, warm evening wishes to all of you. With immense pleasure and gratitude, I welcome Dr. P. Sairam, principal and speaker for today, Dr. Jaren from Sri Sairam Homeopathy Medical College and Research Center for today's program. At Zion, under the noble guidance of our chairman, we always cater to the safety and security of everyone in the campus. As all of us know, we are going through tough times due to the pandemic situation. It's of greatest importance that we have adequate awareness towards the care that we have to keep. Keeping this in mind, Government of India has decided to celebrate Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, for which the guidelines are issued by Honorable Ministry of Ayush. As a part of this, we have arranged today's program. I request all of you to listen to today's speaker with utmost attention and get benefited out of it. With these words, I hand over today's session to Dr. Jaren from Sri Sairam Homeopathy Medical College. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible? Am I audible, ma'am? Thank you, ma'am. I would, before I start the session, I would like to thank a few people who took initiatives in organizing this event. First of all, I would like to thank Chairman of Zion Schools and Alvin Schools, Dr. Vijayan sir, and all principals of both Zion School and Alvin Schools. I also like to convey my gratitude and thankfulness to my CEO sir, through Sai Prakash who has always given encouraging words and support in organizing such events. I also take this privilege to thank our CEO sir, Mr. Satish Kumar sir, and our beloved principal sir, who's a boon of support to us in all the events, Dr. P. Sairam sir. Thank you, sir. Also, I thank Professor Dr. Reena Jain ma'am and Dr. Shaukan sir for organizing these events. And in this moment, I also include a thank you note to Mr. S. Arun, who's technically helping us, Mr. Srinivasan sir and Jambunadan sir for their efforts and support. Thank you, and over to the session. Sharing my screen, say whether it is visible. Yeah, hope my screen is visible. Am I audible? And Arun, am I audible?
Sir, you're audible, but I think it is echoing.
Yeah, ma'am.
Screen is visible.
Yes, yes. Thank you. All right. So we are in a session where the government has given us an opportunity to share the thoughts about Ayush system to school children on the occasion of our 75th Independence Day celebration. All right, I am Dr. Jerin. I'm handling department called Honor of Medicine at Sairam Medical College and Research Center. All right, today we are here to listen about a few things about the Ayush system as well as about the current pandemic. And I know most of the children are very well aware of this situation, but still we wanted to share a few things and a take-home message for each children so that you would share these things at home and you will learn certain things so that you would follow us, and as oneness we will all hold hands in stopping this pandemic in globally. All right. So, as to begin with, this word SARS coronavirus, which was first seen in the year 2002, and that is why we have seen the name also SARS-CoV-2, because identically the genetically it is similar. The RNA strands seem to be similar, and that is why they have named it SARS-CoV-2. And we all know where it came from. I hope everybody knows where it started. We all know that it started in China, and we heard it from it started from the lower animals, and one of the animals were bats, and it was said to transmit to pangolins, and later on it was transmitted to humans. All right, so not only adults, not only elderly people, and it is being seen that even little children are affected with the COVID symptoms. So typically it is benign symptoms, and it starts with common cold and cold-like symptoms or flu-like symptoms. And so it is not that it just affects the elderly alone. So here we see it affects children, it affects the adults, and it affects even the older people. And it affects both the genders as well. And looking at the fatality rate, it was seen, even we had seen, and globally we had seen in the mid of Jan and February, and in India, we saw it in the month of April and May that the incidences were rising on. We could see that the hospitals were filled with cases, and people were running here and there with the door for oxygen and beds and all those stuff. So we all knew about that. So, but we saw that it was rise in a particular point of time in each country, and then it started declining. So the main reason that was identified was that because of better equipment and testing and processes, because of the government's awareness to the public that to wash hands frequently, maintain social distance, and to wear masks, in kinds of that, we saw the fatality rate was gradually reduced. And now in this slide, we want to see that the incidence rate were somewhere beyond, was more noted in this group. I hope you are able to see see the arrow. So it is found that the age group between 60 and above were more affected. In all the two waves we have seen this age group which were more affected. It doesn't mean that the other group weren't affected, but they were also affected, but it was seen that this group were more affected. And especially people with diseases like hypertension, diabetes, cardiac diseases, and respiratory illnesses, coronary diseases, and cancer. So these people were affected. As you see in the slide, when people had no medical condition of such, only 0.9% people were affected. As I said, the number of cases started reducing because of repeated advice from the government as of quarantine, aggressive testing, and using paramedical staff and voluntary organizations who started equipping themselves in aggressively intervening in the treatment protocols and testing protocols, which brought in the reduction of the number of cases. All right. If I ask you a question here, as in the slide shown here, like it is said that only 20% of people develop symptoms or go in for some complications. Even the rest of the 80% only show only mild infection or even some show, even doesn't show any development of symptoms. Now, if I put a question to you, is it good or bad? What would be your answer? I hope you would say it is good. But according to me, it is not a good sign, because the danger here is this 80% of the people, though they acquire infection, they will not show symptoms, or they will show minimal symptoms. But the danger here is they will become a carrier in spreading the infection. See, when somebody is coughing around, when somebody is throwing out symptoms, we will be careful enough. We will not go next to them. We will go have them tested, and we will identify whether they are tested positive or not. But in people who don't have symptoms, they might not throw symptoms, they might not show up with symptoms, but the risk here is that they might spread the infection. They might be a carrier and they might spread the infection. That is one way this is actually dangerous. Okay, now you would have listened to people saying that my lung is affected, but the problem, the exact word to say it, there will be severe lung damage, and that's called ARDS, acute respiratory distress symptom. The patient goes in for distress, and they go for shock, and finally death. This is what would happen. And again, seen here, it is more seen in large numbers in people about 60 years of age, smokers, and what I already mentioned with previous medical conditions. All right, so I want to spend a couple of minutes in the slide and make you realize that this is important. The reason why is because we know that people are doing a test, taking a swab from the nose and the throat, and people are reluctant, people are hesitating to go in for this such test. One such investigation is RT-PCR, and there's one other called rapid antigen test, a test called RAT. The difference between both is in a rapid antigen test, you would get the results immediately. We would get the results in a couple of hours. Whereas in RT-PCR, it takes at least 24 hours to give you the result. So what is usually done is in order to find out whether the case is positive or not, the test is done, a rapid antigen test is done. And if it is negative and if still the patient is showing on symptoms, then a RT-PCR can be repeated. Still, if it is negative and the patient is showing symptoms, then you can go in for something called the CT, computer tomography. All right, so these investigations are actually very, very vital, very, very important. The reason why is because you will understand in the next slide, unless and until we know that we are positive or we are negative, we will be extra careful enough to take care of ourselves, and also we will be precautious in handling people around also. Okay, so once you are tested positive, this is what you will have to do. We are supposed to quarantine ourselves. We are supposed to use a separate room. We are supposed to use a separate washroom. And if at all there's no possibility of using a separate washroom, so you will have to sanitize it after each time the person who's affected uses it. All right. And even in the third picture, you are seeing that a person transmitted is playing with a dog. You're not supposed to play with the dog because, as I said earlier, though it is transmitted from a lower animal to a human, it can also be transmitted from a human to an animal as well. We have also seen news of the lions in Bangalore Zoo were also tested positive. So likewise, even animals, pets can be affected sometimes, and that will be a very big danger because they can spread the infection very, very easily. All right, so that is one. Next, you are not supposed to share any household objects, beds, and your utensils or clothing, because that is one way which infection can spread very easily. And as I said, these are the things which you can know only if someone is tested positive. You can isolate them. You can be cautious enough not to use what they have used. So it is always better, and I encourage dear students and whoever is listening to it, if parents are listening, please, whenever you have symptoms, don't ignore those symptoms. You might think that I had a cold drink, or I was drenched in the rain, and that is why I'm showing up with symptoms. Even if that is the cause, please go and have it tested so that you will be cautious enough so that you don't spread the infection to others, or someone might not even spread the infection to yourself. So every people at home, if you are showing symptoms of fever, cough, or cold, or loss of smell, loss of taste, or abnormal symptoms, diarrhea, skin symptoms, please have yourself tested so that you can be cautious. And hope you had known about this hand washing technique. It is frequently seen in YouTube, and hope you children are even being taught by your school authorities. So I'll just do a demo of what it should be done. So you are supposed to wash your hands with water first, then you are supposed to take soap in your hands, and then you are supposed to rub it at the back of the hands in between fingers of one hand, and then you will have to repeat that with the other hand, and then you'll have to close your hands and rub the fingers in between the palms. All right, and then fold your hands like this. Hope you're watching me, and you'll have to rub your fingers, the gap between your fingers. All right, then you'll have to wash your area where between the thumb and the other fingers, and like this of both the hands. All right, and then you should also rub the space between the palms, and then wash it with water, and then wipe it with a dry cloth or a towel. I'll repeat it. First, you'll have to wash your hands with plain water, take soap, rub it with both the palms. Then you'll have to rub between the fingers of both the hands, and then on the palm side, you'll have to rub it with between fingers. Then you'll have to rub it like this, and then in between the thumb and the thumb of both the hands, and then wash it with water. Okay, hope you understood. All right. So this is very common. As I mentioned in the slide, this is very common that we usually wash our hands very carefully before eating, before taking medicines, before taking care of the sick individual at home, and before you take care of babies. But the thing is, we forget to wash our hands after playing. Now, we all use cards to play. We all use chess boards and chess coins to play, carom boards to play. So where the infection can spread because we use the same striker or the same coins. Okay, so we share cards, and the sweat from our hands can be a reason, and that can be a reason of spreading. So we are not supposed to use our face, our hands in the mouth or in the mask or something like that. So even after playing and after sneezing, after eating, after using the washroom, or if after digging nose, or if after scratching your head, and if you travel somewhere, after all these stuff, you are supposed to wash your hands after throwing the garbage. And the important point I want to show you is handling money. Okay, in countries like India, people are well versed in handling the money with after wetting their hands in the saliva. So even that is one way where infection can very easily spread. Not only COVID, even many other infections, skin infections, and infections like tuberculosis can very easily spread through money. So money is a very favorite area for infection, and it can very easily spread to many people. So you will have to, after handling money, please wash your hands, and please educate your friends and parents at home or your siblings at home to wash their hands. And at the last, as I mentioned here, after school, after going anywhere outside, you are supposed to wash your hands. All right, and as I told you, this is one method of transmission from one person to other. Like, it can spread from very close contact. That is why we are advised to maintain a social distance of 6 meters at least. And infected people can expel the droplets by talking, coughing, sneezing, and even there, the discharges from the hands, sweat from the hands, discharges from the nose or even the eyes. And if they touch somewhere, from there it can be area where you can get infection. All right, so contaminated objects, usually the door handles, okay, door handles and doors, okay, and handrails where people climb down the stairs or use it while climbing up the stairs. So these areas can be one common site where infection can spread. And when we inhale these, we will come up with symptoms like fever, cough, sore throat, shortness of breath, tiredness, body aches. Body aches are seen to be a very common symptom, even without fever, even without other symptoms. People do have only symptoms of this body ache and uh, um, other stuff. All right. So even diarrhea, people come up with diarrhea. People come up with other symptoms like loss of smell and loss of taste. Even without fever, people can come up with these symptoms, and that can be one way of uh, showing symptoms out. Okay. All right. Mm. So even a rash can be there. Even some people can have rashes in the skin even without other symptoms. So please, if you have doubt, please go and have it tested. I'm repeating this again because people are hesitating to test and they end up spreading the symptoms, spreading the disease to the other people at home. So once you show up symptoms, you have it tested and isolate yourself so that you will not spread the infection, and we can stop the infection there. It's all right. So once someone is affected with COVID, I want to share a few slides on it, highlight few points on this, because once people are getting up with symptoms, they are getting into something called a very, very dangerous thing called a panic sign. People get into a fear, which is worsening the symptom actually. All right. So I have given few points here in making you understand. So please don't watch or read any social medias or listen to the news once you are affected. All right, so you can see ways to take care of oneself once you are affected. So please trust only, take news only from reliable sources. Take break from all the other things. So if it is from a reliable source, like what I have mentioned here, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, if it is from such sites, you can be reliable. If it is from a reliable source, such as from a medical person or a health professional or from the government, direct news from the government, that you can trust and that you can believe it. Otherwise, don't rely on any other materials which you receive it in your Facebook or in your other social medias and WhatsApp. All right, so please don't allow others to talk about it who are ignorant about, okay, who are not doctors, who are not health professionals, or who are not reliable sources. Please don't allow them to create panic, talk about this subject, and create a panic in you or in your family members. So limit all these stuff, and you can I mean, follow all these steps so that you can decrease the cases as well as you can stop further spread of infection from you to the other person. So even if you're affected, wash your hands very frequently as a 20-second procedure, as I mentioned already. Limit your travel, stay at home as much as possible, and if you're feeling sick, especially when you're feeling sick, please avoid going to school, avoid going to colleges, avoid going to work places so that you would prevent the spread. Avoid touching the face, especially eyes, nose, and mouth. Avoid crowds, avoid crowds more than 10 people. Avoid unnecessary shopping. So maintain the distance. And this is how you can take care of yourself and improve your immune system. Eat a very good balanced diet. Have a plenty of sleep. Take very good rest. If possible, if you want to maintain some routine of your exercise, you can do it. Also, maintain minimal exercise, engage in leisure activities, watch good things, have fun. You can play video games or something like that instead of listening into or sulking into something, getting boredom or thinking about your disease. You can do all these stuff. Get fresh air, get in the sunshine for some time, and stay fit and improve your immune. You can take good fruits and vegetables, salads and soups, so that you can do steam inhalation and all those stuff, so that you can take care of yourself by these means. Seek professional help, and please avoid medications. When someone has prescribed some medications for your neighbor or for your known people, please stop using such self medications. because you do not know what they have given it for. So please have it tested, and please get help from a professional doctor or a professional health worker so that you would prevent complications. And if somebody at home or your friends are using alcohol, please advise them to stop using them, and smoking as well. All right. So I don't think this slide is for children. So you would have heard about a lot of things about vaccination, and the government is also taking initiative to start vaccination even for school children. As long as I would say that vaccination, yes, it is, though there are complications seen in few people, it is safe, and there are no side effects seen in much of the percentage of people. There is still research going on that. And yes, there are a lot of fears about it. So if you really have fear, if people at home are with certain diseases, cardiovascular diseases, they can go to a health professional, consult a cardiologist, and have their opinion before they, and have certain tests done before they go in for the vaccines. All right. So yeah, you can come up. People at home, whoever has vaccine, they will come up with few symptoms, and they can have a minimal headache. They might have a few symptoms of a sneeze or a cough or a body pain or a mild fever after taking vaccination. So those can be minimal, and you need not worry about it. And if needed, you can always have consultation with a doctor or a health professional, right? And so now I vaccine, or my people at home have vaccine. Now, can I roam around? Can I be free? Can I be free from following these protocols informed by the government? No, not at all. You are still supposed to follow all these protocols, still maintain social distance, still follow hand washing frequently, and avoid touching the face and nose and mouth and eyes, and also wear a mask wherever you go. So only in your room when you're alone, you can avoid your mask. Other than that, please follow all these stuff, even though you are vaccinated. Okay, so again, we are safe to use vaccines, and it's been said that these vaccines now which they have created are also safe for the Delta variant, and it will actually prevent the infections spreading from you to others and from others to you. And once the government is implicating this for children, and it is, you can also boldly take the vaccine. If you have doubts, you can consult with a pediatrician or with a health professional, after which you can take the vaccines. All right. So coming back to the government's protocol of this event, of this celebration for the Ayush system. So hope you have heard a little bit about it, but the actual abbreviation is A stands for Ayurveda, Y for Yoga and Naturopathy, U for Unani, S for Siddha, and H for Homeopathy. And I've here from the Homeopathic Medical College here to explain about homeopathic system. So our founder, this is our homeopathic founder, Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, who found homeopathy 200 years back, the year 1796. So he was a German physician who was practicing allopathic practice, but he did not like the practice. And while translating in one of the books, he started discovering a beautiful system of homeopathy. So I'll just give a basic outline of what homeopathy is. So as you see in this picture, this is a healthy person, and when a healthy person is given a medicinal substance, he would come out with symptoms, or he would show some disease symptoms. So you come up with disease. I repeat, so a healthy person, when a medicine is given to him, he would show up with symptoms, or he would acquire a disease. All right. So when this person, or when another person who is coming up with the same set of symptoms, when he is given the very same medicine, he would be brought back to his health. So this is the basic principle of homeopathy. Hope you understood it. And what are the benefits of using homeopathy? Is that there are a lot of benefits, especially in the mental level. It improves the mental level. It improves the mental alertness. Improves the sense of well-being. Improves our immunity. Improves the efficiency of functions of all the organs, and improves stamina. It gives persons a refreshing sleep, even though they are affected with symptoms, and it improves the vitality and mental illness. So here are a few symptoms that I have put in this slide, where these are diseases which can actually be treated with homeopathy. Females, symptoms like dysmenorrhea and menopausal syndrome, menstrual irregularities. Especially homeopathy doctors can very easily treat a renal calculi, kidney disease, a kidney stone. Very frequently, we have heard even school children being affected with renal calculi these days, and with a lot of menstrual irregularities, PCOS, thyroid disorders, etc. But homeopathy has got a very good scope. As I mentioned here, a homeopathic physician handles a renal calculi case very easily as that of handling a common cold. So there is a very good scope in handling such diseases with homeopathy. And allergic disorders like sinusitis, bronchial asthma, urinary tract infections, psoriasis, all these diseases can be handled with homeopathy. All right, so maybe you 11 children, you have joined the course already. You have decided on either the biology group or your computer science group. So if you are in the biology group, you can opt for this Ayush system and homeopathy. And if your friends or if your people at home they wanted to do such a medicine course, you can always advise them to opt for this Ayush system. And the basic thing is you have to go through this NEET. NEET is compulsory even for this Ayush system. And the people with basic group of physics, chemistry, and biology, or botany and zoology, pure science group, can opt for this after writing the NEET exams. So you'll have to get through your +2 exams, and also you'll have to get through the NEET, and after which you will have to get the seat through counseling. So it is not no more through the colleges. There is no more admissions through the college management seats, or also through the counseling mode only. So you will appear for the NEET, you will apply for the courses. Whether you're going to choose Ayush system, then you will have to apply for the Ayush system separately, and counseling will be held separately for all these systems, and you will have to apply for that. Even for management seat, even for All India quota, you will have to apply through counseling, and only you can get into college. This is one slide which I have given a comparison of what the MBBS students learn, and this is what homeopathic people also learn. Okay, so we have the subjects in par with the MBBS syllabus. So you'll be learning all these subjects in par with the MBBS syllabus: anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, pathology, gynecology, obstetrics, surgery, orthopedics, social and preventive medicine, all these stuff. In addition, you'll be learning these subjects in addition to the MBBS curriculum or MBBS syllabus. All right. So we have the homeopathic materia medica and the homeopathic pharmacy instead of their pharmacology. That is the difference. All right. So hope you understood. And there is a small clipping about how a medical college will be, or how an Ayush college. This is a sample from our college. Hope you'll enjoy this. So thank you. Hope you understood. Hope all the children present here have understood what I have dealt today. And thank you. And this is my contact number. If you have any doubts, you can contact through your school to my number, or you can contact our college in person. Thank you. Thank you for your patient listening. Over to you, ma'am. Ma'am, over to you. Arun, I think you'll have to unmute somebody.
Sir, she's not here, sir.
Okay. All right, children. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for this opportunity. I thank once again the management and the principals of Alvin School and Science School. Once again, I thank Chairman Dr. Vijayan sir for this opportunity of, of giving our institution and sharing about our system and about our college to your schools. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir and ma'am. Thank you, students. Thank you for participating. Thank you.